Hello again, everybody. It's me, Lisa Bat, and well, I've been asking a lot of times for people to make suggestions for videos that they'd like to see, and I actually did get one last week. I get so few. I get just a few followers and stuff. So I mean, one of the actually it came from someone that that I've known for a very long time. My good friend Will, who would see as a comment. I'll probably put it up here somewhere, comment on my previous video as IamRuin, and he said that I should try doing a tag video as a kind of a getting to know you thing, like a, you know, so for anybody that doesn't already, you know, anybody that's following that's not already a friend of mine. So I had to kind of look that up, like, what's a tag video? I wasn't sure. So tag video is you've seen them on Facebook, and even like if you were on MySpace, and even like way back for us much older people, we had them even on like LiveJournal before MySpace even existed. People would be doing these little like quizzes, like little who am I, like getting to know you quiz things, and I did so many of those when I was 16, 17, even in my 20s. I'd occasionally do them on MySpace, even though I had like a sense of it might be a little, some of it was a little TMI. But I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. I'm gonna put myself out there with a little bit of TMI. I went and looked it up to see if I could find a good source of lists to use, because I really didn't know where to start, and I haven't been tagged one of those in a long time. So I found a website here. I'm going to be looking over because I have my laptop like over off in the corner over here with the questions and stuff for the quiz. So I'm going to be looking off to the side, and I'm going to, I don't know, maybe I should adjust my camera so I'm not like looking over and like disappearing from the screen every time I do it. So I found a page called www.tagquestions.net/YouTube-tag-questions/ and I guess I can put that into the links, and it's got a whole list. It's 116 awesome YouTube tag questions. So I'm gonna try to get through as many of these things as I can. Some of them are a little ridiculous and it might be a bit redundant, so we'll get started. So the first one is random YouTube tag questions, and there's 30 in each of these lists. So I'm gonna start with the first one. First list, random YouTube tag questions, and it starts off saying, "Are you hot?" I don't know. I don't know. I don't hold that opinion of myself. I have trouble. I don't know, me, like everybody, we all have trouble with our self-esteem, and sorry. And I've never really thought that I was like all that and stuff. Like, I think for the most part I think I'm okay, and that's a journey. That's part of the journey that I'm on, is trying to get to a point where I like myself more. And it's been a trip, and I've been working on it. There have been times when I don't think I'm very attractive. So am I hot? I don't know, probably not. Are you rich? No. No. I have a little bit of money in savings, but all that money is, unfortunately, it's mostly inheritance from my mother passing away. That's gonna be a story for another video. And yeah, I'm not spending any of that. It's just sitting there. It's there for the future. So, okay, moving on. Next question. Are you in love? I'm gonna say yes, because I have this wonderful, amazing boyfriend who takes such great care of me and challenges me to think and to do more, and to learn and to grow, and I mean, you know, it's mostly pretty peaceful. We do occasionally have our little disagreements here and there, but I wouldn't say we really fight too much. We actually we just have very long, and sometimes they get a little heated conversations, but I don't think we really fight, you know. But we do pretty good. We're happy. Do you like coffee? Yeah, I like coffee. When I was working, I used to like to drink coffee a lot, and actually, I worked at a mall for a little while, and there was a Starbucks there, so I would go and get Starbucks pretty frequently. And even when I was a teenager, I used to go to the mall by myself, and I'd go and I'd get a coffee at whatever the shop that was there. It wasn't a Starbucks, it was something else. But I'd go and I'd get my little iced coffee, and I'd sit in the food court that we had a food court that was kind of set in this real central part of this like sprawling kind of mall that only had like second story areas only in certain places. But the food court was a second story thing that was on like a balcony, and you could look over and see all the people rushing around and stuff. So I'd be there with my headphones and my notebook, all dark and dramatic, after I've just done my shopping at Hot Topic, and drinking my coffee and, you know, writing things, drawing, whatever I felt like doing. Even though I'm not a good artist, it would be scribble, it would be barely anything, but I'd be drawing or I'd be writing, and just watching everybody scrambling around like just this rat race, the insanity of like consumerism as they're all racing around. And not to say that I'm not immune from it. I know I've got some pretty bad problems with that, but still, you know, it's what I did, and that's my coffee story. That's where I got hooked on coffee. I'd go to poetry readings and get coffee every time. I get like a big venti thing of like Starbucks, but I don't drink as much now as I'm getting a little older, for later into my 30s. It's been harder on my body to drink coffee. Caffeine just doesn't work very well for me. So anyway, what's your dream vacation? I'm not sure. There are a lot of things that I would love to be able to do. A lot of places that I'd love to see. I've got family, let's see, my grandmother on my father's side was British, like direct off of the boat British, like she immigrated here. And I've got a family and cousins and aunts and uncles and all sorts of relatives over in England that I've never met, that I don't even know. I know my other side, the ones that are here in the States that are on my mom's side, that are, you know, Mexican, Hispanic, you know. So we have quite a few of those here that I can see. So I mean, I think maybe for a vacation I would love to go to Europe and to Great Britain to go see England and Scotland, because I know we have a little heritage there in Scotland too. I would love to go and see some of these places. I'd like to go to Germany, and I'd like to see Japan. But, you know, that would be maybe dream vacation, see the world, I guess. Who do you truly love? Well, I think I covered that with Are You in Love, my wonderful boyfriend. And I mean my family, his family, who is now pretty much my family, and yeah, my sister, my nephews. Just, you know, the people that are in my life that I still have. Anybody that I still have. It's so important to, if they are not toxic and a deterrent to you living your life happily, it's good to love the people that you have in your life. What was the last movie you watched? I mean, gosh, my boyfriend puts a movie on every day, and he sleeps with something on, so I think the last thing that was on was Infinity War. But the last thing that we actually sat down and watched, it wasn't exactly a full-length movie, it was like a little 20-minute maybe thing called, it was an anime, it was called Voices from a Distant Star. And it was such a beautiful, emotional thing, and I mean, if you haven't seen it, I suggest looking it up and seeing if you can find it. It's wonderful, it's worth watching, it's beautiful, and you know, it was such an emotional thing. There were tears, but it was so good. What sport do you play? I don't really play sports. We have a swimming pool in the backyard. So you know, I swim occasionally. I like to go on walks. I don't do any crazy sports and stuff. It's never been my thing. Maybe that's part of why I am so chubby. But anyway, what are you eating now? At the moment, I am not eating anything, obviously. The last thing I had was I had a protein shake earlier with banana, and I had, God, I'm like brain farting. What did I eat? I had one of those little Marachon like noodle bowl things. Ooh, eating so good. No, but I have a little dish with some cucumbers and tomatoes and cottage cheese and stuff that I'm going to eat later, like a little salad that I'm going to munch on later. And I had a little bit of sugar-free banana pudding. But yeah, this is like a very exciting my diet, I guess. So let's see. How is your best friend? I guess right now. Oh, I guess it means who. It says how. Who? Well, my best friend for the longest time had been a girl, Christine, who unfortunately passed away in 2017 from cancer. So it's like it's a tricky subject, but my best friend right now is my boyfriend. I know it's kind of lame, but yeah, it's the truth though. It really is. And I mean, if you're gonna spend your time, like every waking moment of your day with somebody, they better be your friend, right? Be your best friend. And you spend enough time with your, you know, significant other that they're gonna be your best friend. What TV shows do you like? Well, I don't really watch TV. I watch things on Netflix. I just finished watching the last season of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I really enjoyed that one. I enjoyed Agretsuko, or was it Agretsuko? The one about the little the red panda who likes to go do karaoke. Little anime on Netflix. I like Penny Dreadful. I like CSI stuff. I like true crime. Things about like serial killers and murderers are all very fascinating. I don't know. I mean, I liked watching True Blood. Oh, we started watching Westworld. I haven't finished it, but it's very interesting, and I'd like to finish that sometime. I like Rick and Morty. Just so many things. It's a loaded question. What am I watching now? I'm not watching anything. Not at the moment. I am thinking on Netflix. I'm thinking about watching Tidying Up with Marie Kondo, because I could use that help. I'm very, very cluttery. What was the one that I just saw at the top of the page earlier? They had a new show they were advertising that I think I want to see. Let me see if I can get the Netflix thing to open up real quick. And I'll tell you. Bonding. Yeah, I want to see Bonding. It's, I guess about a woman who is a dominatrix and a guy who ends up being her, let's see. Struggling to make ends meet as a waiter, Pete takes a job working for his friend Tiff, aka Mistress May, in her sex dungeon. Oh boy. This sounds like it's gonna be fun, so I'm going to watch that definitely later. What do you put on to bed? I guess what do you wear to sleep, I think is what that's asking. Usually like leggings and a t-shirt, or I like nightgowns, simple nightgowns, nothing too fancy. Or just like a t-shirt, nothing very fancy. It's just whatever's comfortable. Especially to do with like the season, how hot it is and stuff. Hotter it is, more likely to be a t-shirt. What is the name of your pet? My pet's name is Ginger. Let me see if I can get her. She's like right over here on the window. There she is. She said hi in previous videos. I'll have her say hi again. Say hi, baby. She's miserable. She doesn't like being picked up that much. I'm gonna put her down. I don't want to torture her that much. Oh, Go on, baby. Yeah, that's my Ginger. I've had her now since, well, she was like born in my home. Her mother and father were cats that I had brought in and rescued from the street and raised, like, took care of them, raised them to adults. They bred and had some kittens, and there goes my camera again. Sorry. And, well, they had a litter of kittens. I had them both fixed. We moved into my ex and I moved into an apartment, and well, I broke up with him and then I moved out, but I really should have taken like the cats with me, because I don't know what happened to some of them. Some of them just disappeared. So when I asked to get the cats back, he only had 2 of them to give me. Ginger and another one, her sister Pepper, who is a tortie tabby. She was a mix between a gray tabby and a black calico, and she was gorgeous. She had a big orange spot like on her forehead. She was such a pretty kitty. Dark with lots of little like speckles, but stripes and speckles. Real pretty. But I had to give her to someone else because she was being destructive, and my ex, after the other guy, couldn't handle her. Together, both of these cats peed on a lot of things and caused a big mess and a lot of trouble. So it became like, I have to make a decision. So I had to give her to another home, and you know, I'm hoping that she's thriving and doing well. Ginger is 7 years old. What is your favorite subject? Well, I'm not in school anymore, so I don't really have to think about that, but when I was in school, I did choir, and I loved choir, and I was very good with English. My mom was an English teacher, so it's no wonder I was really good with the English class, and because I was good with it, I enjoyed it. Come on, baby, you gotta get off of there. Gotta move. She is hindering my progress. What was the worst injury you've ever had? I broke my leg when I was 10 years old. I broke my right leg, both the tibia and the fibula, one near the knee and one near the ankle, and my leg has a very, very, very slight, almost completely unnoticeable, like, curve to it. I can see it. Nobody else can see it, but I know it's there. I can feel it. I can run my hand down my leg and I can just feel the arch there. But it's not something that you can see if you look right at it. And yeah, that was the worst thing. Let's see. What were you doing 3 hours ago? Getting ready to do this. Finding what I was gonna wear and figuring out how I was gonna put this together. And I mean, yeah, I was thinking about getting on and streaming a game before I did this, but I just wanted to get this together. Juice. Anyway. Are you wearing pants right now? Do leggings count as pants? Because I'm wearing leggings. I'm wearing leggings underneath my dress. I kind of, like I've said in one of my previous videos, that I love leggings and I practically live in them. I'm gonna take these glasses off because these lashes, the glasses are not cooperating. It's gonna be a little harder to read the screen, but I'll go ahead and do that. So it says, what are your plans for tonight? Well, I've got something I gotta go pick up at Target in a little bit. Very, very exciting. And then I'm probably going to play some games, go stream some Warcraft or something. I was thinking about playing the old Vampire the Masquerade for a little bit and streaming that. So maybe I don't know. You know, one of the two. But probably going to be Warcraft more than likely. When do you usually go to sleep? Whenever the hell I want. Oftentimes it ends up being like 5 o'clock in the morning though, or 6 or something, but it's just whenever I go to bed is when I go to bed, and then I'll sleep and then get up when I wake up. When did you last go on vacation? I haven't been on vacation in a very long time. I haven't had any kind of a vacation. want to say since like 2009. My last vacation I went to Las Vegas. I was still living in California, and that's like a story for another time, I guess. But I lived in California for 8 years, and while I was there, I guess 2009, 2008, 2007, 2006, every year at that point, 2006 to 2009, my parents started going to Las Vegas for their God, I'm like brain farting, for their anniversary during summer every year. So since Vegas is a lot closer to Texas, Vegas is a lot closer to California than Texas is. Oh my god, I'm totally confusing states here. Vegas was a lot closer, so I would get a bus ticket. Oh, good job knocking things over, cat. I would get a bus ticket, and I would go to Vegas, and I would meet my parents, and then we would get together and go do whatever we were gonna go do for our time. Spend about a week there, go see shows. I got to see, over the time that I was there, I got to see Phantom of the Opera, I got to see Spamalot, I got to go and see all of the great hotels and stuff. Fell in love with a lot of the places out there. The Venetian is gorgeous. It's amazing. If you've never been to Vegas, you really should. I highly suggest it, but don't waste all your money on the gambling. Definitely go see the shows. It's amazing. When did you last go shopping? That's a trick question, because I do a lot of online shopping. I haven't gone out of my house to go shopping in like 3 or 4 months. I just don't do it all that often. I usually end up going on my own. My boyfriend doesn't like to go shopping. It's just boring for him. And a lot of times he spends the whole time going, "When are we going back? I'm tired." He doesn't even like going grocery shopping, and he gets rushy about that. So I imagine, actually I don't think I've ever taken him shopping to the mall or anywhere. But that's because he's already said, "I don't like going shopping and I don't want to." And I'm like, okay, fine. I won't drag you, I'll go by myself, I'll have some me time. But anyway, but yeah, it's been a long time. But I certainly do a lot of online shopping. I'm gonna turn this again, because I'm beginning to see myself turning off screen. Have you watched any movies this week? No, but that does remind me, the last movie question, going back to that. The last movie I saw in a theater was Shazam, and that was awesome. But I have not seen a movie this week. I think that I'm going to, I haven't actually even, like, not willingly watched anything, aside from maybe when my boyfriend puts on his movie when he goes to bed. Like I said, he's been kind of caught on his Infinity War. He's excited for Endgame. We're probably gonna go see Avengers Endgame sometime next week. That'll be the plan. Do you miss anyone or anything right now? That is really a really loaded question. Oh my god. Okay. So I've said that my mom is dead, my best friend is dead, my father is dead. I guess I can cover this, kind of like briefly run over this. My father passed away in 2010, and he had 2 strokes. He had one, and he seemed to be recovering. I was in California still at the time, so I came down real quick, came to see him. I was here for maybe a week or 2, and then, he seemed like he was doing well. It affected the right side, right brain. So I think it actually affected left. I can't remember, but it affected one side. So he was left-handed. He was able to write a little bit, but it was like he was missing letters here and there, and it was such a sad time. But he had been complaining that his back was itchy, so I'd go and scratch his back for him, and it was on the side that didn't have any feeling. So I'm like, oh my god, he's getting better. I thought he was getting better. I was convinced. He made it to their anniversary again, and then he died. And like within a week, they got together. They had cake. My nephews, I was already back in California, but my nephews went to the hospital to go see him, and it was very exciting for them. And my mom even got a ride from the hospital she was staying at. Oh, it was such a complicated time because my mom had fallen and broken her hip in 2009 and spent a lot of that time in the hospital, so she got an ambulance trip over to his hospital to go spend the day with him and have cake and have a little date, and then she went back, and then within a week he had another stroke and there was no one home. So lights are on, but nobody's running the vehicle, and so we had to let him go, and it was a little emotional now even to think about. It was one of the hardest times in my life to lose my father because I was very close to him. So then I left California and came back to Texas. I'm ready to put these back on now. Came back to Texas to help take care of my mom, and I took care of her for 6.5 years, and during the time I want to say 2016, my best friend was diagnosed with breast cancer. I'd known this girl since we were about 3 and 4 years old or so. We were in daycare together. Then we were in school together through elementary, or through early elementary. Then we switched to different, we were in a Catholic private school, and then we switched to 2 different public schools, but we still spent every weekend at each other's house. She was my other half, my sister from another mister. We could answer each other's sentences. We didn't even have to speak in each other's presence, and we'd still know what was going on. We were very close. And she got cancer, and I got very scared. I had a hard time with it. I couldn't go to see her because I was just terrified to see her like that. I'm really quite ashamed that I didn't. Cancer is a hard thing. So she went into remission, and she was doing okay. I guess it was 2015 she actually got the breast cancer, come to think of it. Because 2016 she was in remission, she grew her hair back, she was doing great, she was getting back to normal. And then early 2017 she had a tumor on her shoulder that was small and hard, and she went to the cancer treatment center, and they told her it was probably nothing, but they didn't touch it and they didn't check it. And within a month it grew to be the size of a softball, huge. And she went back in and said, hey, I was told that this was nothing. Why do I have a grapefruit on my arm? And they checked it and it was cancerous, and they told her she had 6 months. She has 6 months to live. And I can only imagine how terrifying. But she is one of these people that had an unbreakable spirit. She had been through so much in her life, and she went through this return of her cancer with the typical cheer and grace that she always had for everything. Unbelievable to watch her. I was still scared to see her. And then she passed away in November 2017. I went to her funeral, I hugged her kids, I even hugged her husband. I didn't even like her husband that much, and I hugged him and I cried. Nothing like losing your longtime best friend. Um, and then in January, my mom passed away. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. This is hard. This is a hard thing to talk about. January of 2018, my mom passed away. I was at work. I was working at a grocery store. She had called me. It was a Sunday. She had gone out with some friends and had gone to go eat at like La Madeleine, a little cafe, and had a good day, you know. She was in a wheelchair, so I mean, little things like that were taxing. They were exhausting. So she went and she ate and she came home and she called me around 5 o'clock, but I was at work until 10. I wasn't able to answer because I was working, and I didn't call her back because, you know, you get like a 15-minute break and you don't always have a lot of time, and I didn't think about it, you know? My cat's checking on me. She's worried. Maybe. I don't know. Or she just wants to knock things over. Come here. I came home and I checked on her, and the whole house was dark. And I went room to room, and then I found her, and, you know, she had bled to death. She'd cut herself, and it was just this night was a blur. It was like, it seemed like a parade of people in and out. I've got cat fur all over my face now. But this parade of paramedics in and out to examine the scene, and paramedics, and then police, and then a detective, and then a medical examiner, and then CSIs, and then the ME kicks everyone out of the house as the CSIs go in to investigate for good, to see what really happened. I mean, the detective had already determined that there was no foul play, but the ME's job is to go in and to determine exactly what happened, and if they're correct. And by the time they got her onto a gurney and wrapped her up in a body bag and took her out, it was already 1 a.m. And it was a really touching night. A touching thing that at the end of the night, some of my coworkers came to check on me because I'd called them and said, I need some time off because my mom just died. And I think I was in tears on the phone. So they came, and my manager was even crying. It was such a crazy moment. But I'd say, do I miss anybody right now? I miss all of them. I miss all of them. Anyway, now we're gonna calm down for a moment. That was a heavy question. They want to act like that was a lighthearted list. That last question was heavy. Who was the last person you chatted with on Facebook? It looks like I was talking to a girl named Amber about just some therapeutic, I don't know, ways to deal with depression and anxiety and sleep, and I'll talk about that sometime later too. But I think I'm not gonna get any further in this list. That was too much. I know it's funny because that was the last question. At the bottom it says, sounds easy, and I'm like, that was not easy. That last question was not easy, or second to last, not easy. Anyway, so this was a much heavier. You know, I tried to keep the video very lighthearted. I try to be lighthearted and fun with the videos. It was unexpected that they were going to hit me with a question like that, and that I was going to, unexpected for me that I was going to react like that, because I do alright when talking about my best friend, or my father, or my mother, but they are still, it's still fresh to me, and they are still emotional things. It's still emotional moments. I still have a hard time with it from time to time, and I'm still dealing with it. Some days are better than others, and obviously I guess today is not one of those days. Anyway, if you guys want to see more of these, I have plenty more questions to answer. If y'all want to see me like nearly start crying on camera again, I can do more. Just let me know in the comments. Please, be sure to, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that little bell in there next to the subscribe so you get notified when I post more videos. And I guess we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.